This is Wiley from Learn to Barbecue. Today I'm hanging out with my trusty Pit Boss 1250 Platinum, and we're about to smoke up a monster of a pork shoulder, a whopping 7.4 pounds of pure porky goodness. We're talking slow and low cooking for fall-apart pulled pork that'll have everyone begging for seconds. Now we need to prep the smoker. We add a half pan full of water to the bottom grate. This will even out the chamber temperature and prevent the pork shoulder from drying out. We then add the middle rack, where the pork shoulder will reside during the smoking and cooking session. This location will also allow the drippings to drop into the water pan, keeping the bottom of the grill clean and free of any potential flare-ups. Now we set and preheat the grill to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This will allow the grill and water pan to come to cooking temperature. So I can already hear the grumblings. At what temperature do you smoke a pork shoulder? I have tried all the temperatures, and when using a pellet grill, I prefer 250 degrees. I have two reasons. First, I do not like to cook longer than 12 hours and refuse to lose sleep to any piece of meat. Second, I do not believe you will get much more smoke at 225 degrees to justify the longer cooking time. If you are using an offset smoker, I am sure it would make a difference, but with a pellet grill, not so much. If you follow my channel, you know I did a special video on binders, and at that time, I thought they were worthless. Well, I have changed my mind. My wife and I had a coffee house, and we decided to offer panini sandwiches. The supplier we used to buy our food products recommended using Hellman Real Ancho Chipotle sauce on the sandwiches. Did that make a difference? I even tried using it on my pulled pork and brisket, which convinced me it is the ultimate binder and food enhancer. So, with that being said, cover every inch of the pork shoulder with the Hellman's Real Ancho Chipotle sauce. I promise you will not be disappointed. After that, cover the pork shoulder with Montreal steak seasoning. I prefer this over just about any rub, for it will let you taste the meat and does not add any sugar. If you want sweet barbecue, get it from the sauce and not the rub. Again, cover every inch of the pork shoulder with Montreal steak seasoning. When doing briskets, it is the only rub I will use. Want to know more about Montreal steak seasoning? Montreal steak seasoning's history is smoky and delicious. It likely emerged in Montreal delis around the 1940s-50s, inspired by the pickling spices used for their Eastern European-style smoked meat. Legend has it that a Schwartz's deli worker nicknamed the Shadow started using their spice mix on steaks, sparking a trend that eventually turned this unique blend into a beloved steak seasoning across North America. We are now ready to take this pork shoulder to the smoker. Now, with the smoker preheated at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, it is time to put the pork shoulder on the second rack right above the water pan. I then inserted one of the meat temperature probes of the Pit Boss 1250 into the pork shoulder. You need to be very careful not to let the probe make contact with the bone, or you will not get the correct temperature reading. The Pit Boss Grills app offers a remote control for Pit Boss grills with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, letting you monitor temperatures and adjust settings from your phone. This frees you up from constantly checking the grill and ensures perfectly cooked food thanks to built-in meat probe monitoring. The app also provides access to recipes and potentially smoking tips. The feature I like the most is the ability to graph your cook and then save it. You can then go back and see what you did wrong and what you did right. Here is the complete graph of this pork shoulder cook. Let me go through each section. First, here is the grill cooking temperature. They also call this the ambient temperature, which usually is the air temperature inside the grill. We started the cook with an ambient temperature of 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We maintained that temperature for approximately 8 hours. Around the third hour, we saw we were in a stall, meaning the meat moisture was evaporating and cooling the pork, not allowing it to get hotter. When that occurred, we removed the pork shoulder and foiled it so the moisture could not evaporate. We also increased the grill temperature to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. By doing these two things, the pork shoulder started to increase in temperature again. After 10 hours and 44 minutes, the pork shoulder reached an internal temperature of 202 degrees Fahrenheit and was removed from the grill to rest for about 20 minutes. So here is the completely smoked and cooked pork shoulder. The first thing you notice is the bark. The bark on a smoked pork shoulder is the delicious, dark, crispy crust that forms on the outside of the meat. It's a combination of a few things. Spice rub. If you applied a rub to your pork shoulder before smoking, that seasoning will become part of the bark. Maillard reaction. This scientific term refers to the browning reaction that happens when sugars and proteins in the meat's surface meet high heat. It's what gives the bark its characteristic color and some of its flavor. Caramelization. The sugars in the rub and the natural sugars in the meat will caramelize during smoking, adding sweetness and depth to the bark's flavor. Smoke. The smoke from your smoker infuses the bark, giving it a smoky flavor and a slightly reddish-brown color. So the bark is essentially a flavor explosion created by the interaction of heat, smoke, and the seasonings you use. It's a prized element of smoked meats because it adds texture, complexity, and intense deliciousness. Here's how to shred a pork shoulder using 2 forks. There are 2 main ways to use 2 forks for shredding. Pulling apart, insert 2 forks into a piece of meat, 1 on either side. Gently pull the forks apart in opposite directions. Tearing the meat into shreds. Repeat with each piece of pork, raking and pulling. Hold 1 fork down to steady the meat. Use the other fork to rake across the grain of the meat, pulling off shreds. This method works well for longer, stringier pieces. Shredding with forks takes time and some muscle. Don't try to force it, and be gentle to avoid pulverizing the meat. Once you've shredded a good portion, take a look. If the pieces are too large, continue shredding. You can stop here if you prefer a mix of textures with some larger chunks. One way to add a little heat and moisture to the pulled pork is by adding salsa verde. You just need to add a splash and then mix it with the pork. The meat will also be easier to pull after the salsa is added. Mexican salsa verde. This is the most common type of salsa verde, a vibrant green condiment made with tomatillos. Tomatillos are small green fruits that resemble green tomatoes, but have a tangy and less sweet flavor. Here's what's typically in Mexican salsa verde. Tomatillos, the base of the salsa, providing a tart and slightly acidic flavor. Green chili peppers like jalapeno or serrano add heat and some grassy or peppery notes. Onion and garlic for depth of flavor. Cilantro, freshness and a bright citrusy aroma. Lime juice enhances the tanginess and brightens the flavors. This salsa verde is a staple in Mexican cuisine, often served with chips, tacos, burritos, pulled pork, or any dish that could benefit from a burst of fresh, spicy flavor. Sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy barbecue sauce is a crowd-pleasing blend of sweet and smoky with a spicy kick. This bottled sauce achieves its signature taste with a combination of sweetness from high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and molasses, balanced by the heat of jalapeno peppers. The base is built with tomato paste and vinegar, thickened with cornstarch, and seasoned with a blend of spices likely including chili powder and paprika. Smoke flavor adds depth. while a hint of pineapple juice, garlic, mustard flour, and tamarind add complexity. This versatile sauce can be used for marinating or glazing meats, as a dipping sauce, or to add a burst of flavor to sandwiches, burgers, and hot dogs. It also works well with pulled pork. Hellmann's Real Ancho Chipotle sauce can be a fantastic condiment to elevate your pulled pork with a smoky, spicy, and creamy twist. Here's why. This sauce boasts a unique combination of ancho chilies, known for their deep smoky warmth, and chipotle peppers, which add a touch of fiery heat. This smoky element complements the smokiness from the pulled pork cooking process, creating a richer and more complex flavor profile. The creamy texture of Hellmann's mayo base in the sauce contrasts the pulled pork's shredded texture. This creamy element helps tame some of the spice from the chipotle peppers, making it enjoyable for a wider range of palates. Hellmann's Ancho Chipotle sauce can be used in a few ways. Serve it on the side for guests to add a spicy and smoky kick to their pulled pork according to their preference. Mix a desired amount of the sauce into your pulled pork before serving on buns. This infuses the meat with the sauce's flavors and creates a more cohesive taste experience in every bite. Thin the sauce with a little bit of water or apple cider vinegar to create a lighter consistency. Dollop this creamy chipotle crema on top of pulled pork nachos, tacos, or bowls for an extra layer of flavor and visual appeal. With its smoky, spicy, and creamy profile, Hellmann's Ancho Chipotle sauce offers a unique way to enhance your pulled pork and take it to the next level. Till next time.